Wow.
Yeah, well, that's the first time I've seen it on a big screen.
On a big screen, you're looking on a computer.
Yeah.
How was the projection to meet your expectations?
Oh, everything looks and sounds terrible.
Typical.
No.
So that seems to me like a very personal statement. What was your inspiration for that?
Well, it's just I filmed my life for a year, basically.
You went to...
I went to all those places. I fell in love with that girl. We traveled around.
And she dumped you?
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. We made that movie for $6,000 was the budget.
So was that, what did you spend that money on?
Beer, mostly beer. Yeah.
So, are you still in touch with her, or is that?
Yeah, oh, sure, yeah, we're friends. And basically, I'm going to keep making the movie. I'm going to keep working on the movie. I've decided that since it's kind of oddly autobiographical, that I'll keep adding to it. So it probably, next time I show it, it will be different. There'll probably be something added at the beginning, the end, the middle, I'm not sure. But as things change with me, I just add stuff.
So you can remix it. Yeah.
Well, or add stuff.
Yeah.
I added stuff to it already, yeah.
So we haven't seen the real movie at this...
Well, I don't. It'll end when I do.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, this thing that's... A couple of things struck me about it was the cinematography. I thought images were really brilliant, you know.
Oh, thank you.
And the music. I didn't have you down in my book as musician, but you did. You did the music yourself.
Yeah, you got to pretty much with $6,000. You got to do it all. So we made this movie. There's no crew. There's nothing. It's just me and her running around. There's nobody on lights or microphones or anything. So that, in a way, that's very freeing and kind of wonderful way to do things.
And all the special effects.
Just I did them. Yeah.
You get an app off the website and put it on your phone and makes it. How do you do that?
Actually, a lot of computer stuff, basically. A lot of computer stuff. Yeah. And a lot of that stuff comes from, you know, she's a dancer, a professional dancer, so she understands improv, and we came at this from a place of experimentation, and you know, maybe we might not know what the whole movie was about when we started, but we've discovered as we went along. Used a lot of things like word games, found images. Well, found images isn't quite the right way to put it, but we'd find an image and shoot it. So in a way, it was very Dadaistic, or that kind of an approach. You know, found images, word games, chants. Used all of those things to kind of put it together and kept it as also as kind of an autobiography. The notebooks are all real. I have dozens and dozens and dozens of them that I filled up. And I began, as I filled them up, they almost started to become kind of a script. There was really no written.
I mean, do you do that anyway, or
yeah,
did you just start doing it?
Yeah, I've got lots of that sort of thing.
Cool. That's cool. That's great. The news footage from Rwanda was very disturbing.
Yeah. So, or no, that's Sierra Leone.
Sierra Leone. Yeah. Oh, right.
That's not news footage.
You shot that yourself?
Well, the fellow that's talking about his father's head cut off, he's my friend Edwin, and he's the one that actually shot that footage.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's real stuff. I was there, but he had an old beat-up camera, and he ran out there and shot that stuff.
So that happened while you were there?
Right after I got there. He shot it right before I got there.
Right. Well.
Yeah.
I grew up in Somalia, so
well,
that kind
you
of
understand.
Shit happened all the time.
Yeah,
you know?
no, you understand.
But they have a different way of life and death and all that.
Yeah.
Do you think about death much?
Well, when I was making this movie, and since I've gotten a retrospect, I've really been thinking about death. It's like, oh my God. I have been a lot, yeah. I just turned 60, and I figured, oh my God, I just entered the third act. You know, what's the resolution?
No, 60's the new 30. So
is that it? Yeah, well, you just keep telling yourself that.
Oh, great. Does anyone have any comments or questions for Trent?
Good, because I have to go to the bathroom.
What sort of structure did you have when you started off? You said you didn't have any, but I guess you must have had in mind some kind of a...
There was very little structure in the beginning. And what I began to do is I had this idea, you know, when you write a screenplay, basically what you're doing is collecting random bits of information and constructing a reality. That's what you do when you write a screenplay. And then I thought, oh my God, instead of, you know, and then you write the screenplay and you go out and try and film it, and you never get it. So I thought, well, why not collect random bits of reality on film and then begin to use that? So the very first scene in the movie is the very first scene we shot. We're in Angkor Wat and the sun's nice and everything. I said, oh my God, let's shoot this. And she says, well, what am I? What are we doing? And I said, well, you've got a camera. You're a photographer. So there's the first scene. So there's the first piece of the puzzle. And then, you know, as you go along, you begin to gather other pieces of the puzzle. And then eventually, the story dictates what needs to happen. So you've got this and this, but in order to make them work, you've got to connect the dots. So you begin to write things in between. And then in order to do that, I did use a lot of word games and, you know, funny things like name two verbs and stuff like this to come up with dialogue. It's just one great big experiment. I'd never ever tried anything like this before, and I just thought, I'm going to go try it and see what happens.
At what point did you decide to kill yourself?
Well, what time is it? You mean really?
In the story, yeah.
That came fairly early, because I could, basically, look, I'm traveling with this girl, and so I know I can film her, but I don't really have anybody else I can film. So I know I've got to be in it for a minute, but I know I'm terrible, so I decide I better kill myself really quickly. I mean, seriously, that's how that worked. Well, I've got to get off screen as quickly as I can.
I thought you looked good on camera.
Oh, thank you.
I did.
Yeah, well, yeah. I'm not a, you know, an actor. I wouldn't ever begin to...
You wouldn't hire yourself.
No. No, so it was that kind of, that's basically what it was. Kill myself so I don't have to be on screen.
But that kind of creates what there is a narrative in the story, and that act creates the narrative. So
Yeah, yeah, well, yeah, and then suddenly that happens, and then it's like, well, now what, you know?
Right.
And then suddenly the notebooks started to make sense. And the notebooks were real. I mean, I was keeping notes, and she did break. I just love this girl. She broke my heart, but I still like. It's not like we're not friends or anything, but it's like.
I thought the pregnancy test scene was very poignant.
Yeah, let's not even go there. Let's not.
No, but
yeah.
no, it meant something within the narrative, and the way you followed through when she goes to the other girl, and yeah, I thought that was incredibly powerful. It's subtle but powerful, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know whether it's, I don't know what it is. I look at it now, I mean, like I say, this is the first time I've seen it, and it's just like, wow, what is that thing? You know, it looks, to me, it looks incredibly amateurish. It's like, oh my God. But it's more like a it's kind of like a diary in a weird way.
It is like a diary. It is a diary, yeah.
So what are you going to do? I made a diary.
Made a diary.
Yeah, and I'm going to keep doing it. Keep adding to it.
Yeah. What else are you working on?
Oh, I mean, so many things. I mean, I do a lot of documentary work, lots of documentary work. That's how I got to make this for so cheaply, is because I piggyback. I'd get a documentary, I'd go shoot it, and I'd, you know, and then I'd be able to get other footage while I was there.
What they call here, the Brits call a government job. You know?
Yeah. So I piggyback things on, get to go to, you know, I have to go to Rwanda for something else, so I shoot. I have to go to Sierra Leone for something, so I shoot.
All right, okay,
Mexico,
cool.
So that's the way I kind of keep it going.
So is it mainly documentaries these days, or?
Documentaries are what pay the bills, but no, I'm making films every day, and a lot of painting and collages. And I'm working on, you know, I'm shooting all the time, all the time.
No, I love your diaries, personally.
Yeah. You mean the books?
Well,
yeah, they're
books,
little things.
Books,
yeah, no, they're cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you don't burn them, do you?
No, I don't. No, I'm going to sell them.
Yes.
The locations seem to drive a lot of this, and I was wondering if you had a favorite location.
Well, Cambodia is my favorite place in the whole world, so I go back there as much as I can. But all those places are pretty special. You know, and you get into the thing like Paul says, like, when did you die? And so then it becomes, okay, there's this thing of death going on, and then there's like, okay, there's the Day of the Dead, and where's better to go to the Day of the Dead than Mexico and Oaxaca? You know, and then I'd had a dream about Liberty dancing with a skeleton, and I knew there would be people dressed as skeletons, so well, let's go there and see what happens.
That was another great scene.
Yeah, and it's like the first day we're there, there's dancing with a skeleton. It was quite remarkable that way. So it's a it's a different kind of a movie for me, but it was, I don't know, like I say, one great big kind of wild, strange experiment, a great big diary.
Yeah, but I felt it was very, I got to know you a bit, and it's through the movie, and it meant something. And
Oh, good, well,
I don't know, maybe you guys don't agree, but
well,
comments?
a lot of
Anyone?
people just get confused. It's like, what was that?
Yeah, Trent, I don't, it's not about being confused, you have to enjoy it, like Beethoven confused people with the big number 5, you know, but, you know, you just have
I'm
to...
a lot like Beethoven.
Oh, good.
Yeah, we're often compared.
Ludwig Harris.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, he was the deaf composer, I'm the blind filmmaker.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Well, does anyone else have a comment, or should we allow Trent to look after his bladder?
Thank you for coming.
No, thanks. And we've got a couple others if you're playing this week. So.
Yeah, tomorrow night and the next night.
Yeah, and...
What is it? Tomorrow night's Ruben and Ed, and then Beaver Trilogy.
Beaver Trilogy, yes.
Yeah.
And
Very different films than this.
yes.
They have nothing, other worlds. Every one of them's a different world.
Well, that's why we invited you. You're so different. You've got such a unique palette.
Yeah, somebody said, "What kind of movies do you make?" And I said, "Unpopular movies."
Well, I don't know. A lot of people are influenced by your work, and we're really honored to have you be here.
Oh,
So,
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you
Mr.
for
Harris,
having me.
thank you.
Thank you.